Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for being here today as we announce the 10th anniversary of the Mayor's Walk Against Domestic Violence and some additional activities that we at the City of Columbia will be hosting this year for October, which is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So happy to have you all here today, and I'm going to announce and introduce and recognize several members who are here with us today and a few speakers. But before we do that, I did want to thank the team president for Spirit Communications Park, Mr. John Katz. John has been a huge partner in this community since he first got here. We can always count on him and the team and everyone here at Spirit Communications to really help us in the community with anything that we have. But this year is really, really exciting. Since we first started the Mayor's Walk 10 years ago, we've always had it at Finley Park. And although we love Finley Park, we wanted to do something special this year for our anniversary and bring it here to Spirit Communications. So I do want to thank John, and he can't stay the whole press conference, so I did want to just recognize him and see if he wants to say anything.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Devine. Thank you for the opportunity. You know, when Spirit Communications Park was conceived, it was designed for this community. And to just look at the events we've been able to host and the opportunity to host the annual walk, the Mayor's Walk Against Domestic Violence, is a phenomenal opportunity, not just for this community, but also for our staff to be involved in all the things we do in the community. So we're looking forward to hosting this event and bringing everyone back to Spirit Communications Park during the off season, which is event season for us. So thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Thank you as always. So now let's get down to some of the things that we're planning. Again, this is the 10th anniversary of the Mayor's Walk Against Domestic Violence, and we started this 10 years ago. It came out of an idea from the Mayor's task force, a domestic violence task force. And one of the things that we wanted to do is bring awareness around the issue of domestic violence. As you know, South Carolina right now ranks #1 in the nation for men who kill women, according to the Violence Policy Center's statistics. And since probably they started taking these statistics, South Carolina has traditionally ranked in the top 5. I think one year we may have gotten to 7, but those are definitely not numbers that we're proud of. We have been working a lot statewide, locally, nationally to combat domestic violence, but we know that it all begins with us individually. And here in the City of Columbia, starting with then Mayor Bob Coble and continuing with a great advocate and current Mayor Steve Benjamin, we've been able to not only bring awareness around this issue, but continue to add activities during the month of October for Domestic Violence Awareness Month to keep people thinking about how you can help prevent domestic violence in your community, how you can educate yourself and others about domestic violence, and how we all can take a stand to eradicate this in our community. So first, I would like to introduce Mayor Steve Benjamin to bring some remarks.
Thank you, Tamika. As many of you who are assembled here today know that for far too many women in our state, domestic violence is not merely something that you see in news articles or on TV shows. It's an everyday reality. Ranking first among states for women murdered by men in 2013. In 2015, South Carolina was ranked worst in the nation for deadly violence against women. We've been in the top 10 annually for the last 18 years. This is the 4th time that our beloved state has been ranked worst in the nation. This is a reality that we've made a priority to combat. People from all across this great city in the public sector and private sector, and some fantastic nonprofits who are assembled here today have been fighting the battle for decades. And this walk is a step in the right direction. I'm so proud and even more thankful to have had the honor for the last 6 years of serving as mayor. I know that Bob Coble enjoyed that distinction as well. As many of you know, the tie that binds Bob Coble and myself is not the position of mayor, but it's Tamika Isaac Devine. And I really want to thank Tamika for her incredible leadership on this issue for the years that she's been not just on city council. She was fighting this fight long before she was elected to city council, and I know we'll continue to fight it for years to come. This fight is not just about women. It's about our concern for men and women across the state to take responsibility in changing the dynamic that creates the environment for violence to occur. I want to thank groups like Skadvasa and Sister Care and the folks at DSS. We're hosting the 10th anniversary walk right here at Spirit Communications Park. We have the addition of the 2016 Purple Ambassadors, new members of the Domestic Violence Task Force. And we're not celebrating the reason why we have the walk by any means, but we are praising the people who are helping us fight the fight, and we're thanking the women who are stepping up and helping us all realize, and the men who are helping us realize that this fight is a collective fight. We've got to do this together. We're doing this place behind us is much more than just a ballpark. It's much more than just a multi-purpose venue. It's come to represent the public realm. It's come to represent a public facility where we will do everything together. And so excited that it's going to be home for the 2016 walk. And again, I want to give thanks to each and every one of you that are fighting the fight every single day, and incredible thanks and praise to Ms. Devine for her incredible leadership on this. Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And the mayor talked about our mayor's task force. For many years, we've had a task force that has, like I said, came up with the idea for this walk. But as we were growing this walk and things have gotten better, we really realized that we wanted to do more. And so this year, there are several activities that we will be having as part of our awareness activities. And the mayor mentioned many of them, but let me give you a little bit more details. Again, the walk itself will be here at Spirit Communications Park, and the walk will be October 8th, and we have walk ambassadors as well as we have team captains. So anybody who is interested in hosting a team, the walk is actually free for the public, so it's entirely free, but we will have an opportunity to bring people out to this beautiful Spirit Communications Park and walk and take steps for against domestic violence. We have 10 walk ambassadors to symbolize our 10th year, and we'll make sure that all of them are introduced at the walk, so we hope that you join us. But we do have several of them here today, and I would like to recognize them. We've got Chandra Cleveland Jennings, who is a private investigator and community activist for women and girls. Raise your hands as I introduce you. We have Dwight Galloway, who is a business leader and a board member for Sister Care. We have Kawan Finch, who is CEO of Empowerment Corp. LLC and Empowered Connections, a nonprofit organization. Kawan, here. And Tina Torres. She is an awareness advocate and CEO of She Did That Events, and she has also been a huge advocate for domestic violence in our community. Tina. Okay. So if y'all would help me get the hand to our ambassadors. And the reason we wanted to add ambassadors this year is it's important for, of course, when the mayor says this is an important issue, people pay attention. When city council says this is an important issue, people pay attention, but they pay attention and then they go about. But the important part, and the mayor talked about the importance of community, is making sure that we have people within the community that continue to have this message. These are people who have worked hard for domestic violence for many, many years, and as they continue to work for bringing awareness to domestic violence, we wanted them to be a part of this 10th anniversary and help us not only bring attention to the walk, but other events that we have. In addition to the walk, we're also having a lace-up campaign, and as you see, we do have some purple laces that we're going to be asking people to lace up and join us for the walk this year. And then in addition to joining us for the walk this year, for the very first year, I'm so excited to announce that we have added a Purple 5K. We know that Columbia is a community of walkers and runners, and so we want to have something for everybody. We have the walk on one day, but we also have the run on another day. It will be a 5K. and it will go through the very new Greenway down with the City of Columbia, so people will be able to take advantage of running through the perfectly new Greenway in the City of Columbia, as well as support this issue. All proceeds, and I wanted to repeat, all proceeds from the run will go towards Sister Care. And Sister Care has been a stalwart in our community for many, many years for this issue, long before a lot of people, the governor, myself, the mayor, other people got involved and knew this was an issue that we wanted to bring attention to. We've had a community advocate who has been stalwart in making sure that this issue continues to be on the forefront, but not only that, that we have resources available in this community that supports women and children who are fleeing issues of domestic violence, or if they're not ready to flee yet, that they know that they have the resources out there when they are ready. And so I can't say enough about Nancy Barton, who, as if you know Nancy, likes to stay in the background, so I'm not going to make her talk long, but I do want her to say something. So I'm asking if Nancy Barton would just join me up here and bring a few words on behalf of Sister Care.
Thank you, Ms. Devine. You know me well. We've known each other for years, and thank you so much to the mayor. Both these fine folks have been involved with the issue of domestic violence and Sister Care long before today, long before 6 years ago, 10 years ago, when we started this walk in various capacities addressing the issue of domestic violence, violence against women and children. Sister Care is the local organization that works with survivors of domestic violence, and I know this walk is about awareness, about education, but part of what's so important to and make sure that the community is informed about is the services, the advocacy that is at the local level with the City of Columbia, law enforcement, victims advocates with the city, as well as Sister Care. And so when thinking about awareness and education, I think along the lines of services and advocacy, and want to ensure that the community knows there are services in place. The reality is, last year Sister Care served over 6,000 new women, children, men, adolescents in the course of a year. It's actually beyond the scope of what we can manage. The demand is that great. But how are we going to turn this around? I think and see a mother with 3 children. Those children are listening, exposed, watching violence in the home. They're being taught. They're being taught. That's how you address differences. That's how you control. That's how you relate in a relationship. My concern is you've got one individual with children that are exposed. Are we not potentially multiplying this problem over time? Because study after study tell us the greatest risk factors for who will be an abuser, who will be someone who is victimized in an intimate relationship. It's children who have grown up in violent homes. So let us raise awareness through this walk, educate the public, and then, of course, always raising awareness of services that Sister Care provides, as well as the City of Columbia law enforcement and victims advocates. So let's get a good turnout. Hope everybody will join us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nancy. Okay. So in conclusion, just want to reiterate, the walk, 10th annual walk, will be held on October 8th here at Spirit Communications Park. It is a free walk open to the public. We do have team captains, so if anybody wants to be a team captain and recruit a team to participate, they can contact the City of Columbia's Public Relations Department to do that. But we would like people to come and register just so we can keep the numbers and keep information out there. Additionally, at the walk, we will have information and education about domestic violence in our community and nationally, and hope that people can share that with their churches, with their civic organizations, schools, other things. In addition to that, we will have on October 25th, we'll be sponsoring an advocates exchange program. We do know that the first people that encounter victims of domestic violence in our community are our victim advocates, and that is a tough job. So we have victim advocates at Sister Care and the police department, the sheriff's department, at the hospitals, the solicitor's office, and they see a lot of the very worst of the worst, and we want to be able to be a resource for them and support them. And so we will be hosting an advocates exchange forum, and our keynote speaker will be Senator Katrina Shealy, and she will make sure she brings a word of appreciation to these victim advocates, but also encourage them to continue to do what they're doing, because they are a very important part to the fight against domestic violence. And then lastly, again, we've got the run, the Purple 5K, Run Against Domestic Violence, which will be here, be in the Greenway, October 29th. So it will start at the Vista Park, Finley Park, Vista Greenway Tunnel. And then people can register for that at strictlyrunning.com. So that is not a free event, but all proceeds from that event will go to support Sister Care. And as you heard Nancy, we have a huge need, and Sister Care has a huge need. Additionally, between the mayor and myself, other members of City Council, through the City of Columbia social media and other media outlets, we will be all month doing educational pieces. So we'll make sure that we keep this on the forefront of people throughout the entire month of October, but we do want people to know that it's not just about October. This is year-round, but certainly during the month of October, we will make sure that the information gets out there and that we continue to share information in the community about how important it is for all of us to take a stand against domestic violence. So with that said, that is the end of the press conference. I will answer any questions that anybody may have. I know the mayor and others will answer any questions if you have any for us at this time. No questions? Okay, well, we've got information on there how you stand up, sign up for the walk and for the run. And again, I want to encourage everyone to please be a part of this very important initiative. Have a great day.